This was a fun trip. We found trees in the road, we found snow, we went up LaSalle Pass as far as we could go, anyways. We found water. It was a great trip. So please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Okay, after we got gas, we're going to kind of skip to the good stuff. I forgot to say that we're going to LaSalle Pass, or at least as far as we can. We hope to do the whole loop, but that didn't work out so good. But it's a great trip, and I hope you enjoy it. You basically take Rimrocker Trail out till you turn left on, I think it's 127. Nope, actually it's 128, and you take it to Pack Creek Trailhead, which is up to LaSalle Pass, which was so awesome. This was a fun trip for us. This was such a fun drive, and the views were incredible. There was a little bit of technical in it. There is some ledges you have to be aware of. Um, you know, it's nothing dangerous. It's just you have to pay attention and just be aware of what your surroundings. But it was so pretty up there. The views were incredible. I cut out so much of this that it just pains me because it was so pretty. But I wanted to give you a glimpse of the different areas without you having to sit through long and painful shots of it. But it was so pretty. I just hated to cut all that out. There was some up and down, like a little hill here, some rock scrambling you'll see in a little bit, some water crossings, nothing terribly hard. A couple of them, got your attention, made you pay attention, but nothing terribly hard. There was a lot of changes in scenery here and changes in because we're going up in elevations. It was cool at the bottom, and then we got up to over 9,000 feet, like 9,300 feet in elevation, and it got cool and it got snow. We had snow flurries, which is always exciting. Um, Very fun drive. You can see, there's a lot of up and downs, but the reward is the expansive views you get from up above. You can look back over and just see massive, see all the colors in the areas, and was so much fun to do this. So definitely recommend it if you're in the area. Um, Maybe not in May, maybe not whenever it snowed in, but hey, it was awesome. We were very excited to be there and having a great time. It's pretty obvious at some point they had a fire up here. I would have to research it to find out when, but you can see the burnt and charred trees still left over from that. But just made for spectacular viewing up here. As you can see, the views are incredible, but to the left, you'll start seeing a cloud over there. And we were keeping an eye on it. We do know that here you really have to watch the weather, especially up in the mountains. It can change in a minute and can be very dangerous. So we were very aware of that, was watching that. We did see that there were tracks from either a Jeep or a truck that had been up here. So we were watching them and kind of following them as well. At some point, they turned and we went straight, probably because LaSalle Pass is closed, but too much snow. But we wanted to go as far as we could and see what we could see. But beautiful drive up here. This is a hiking trail right here. You could turn, you could walk it. There was a sign that said how far you had to hike, but something like 4 miles to get to the top. And at 8,000 feet of elevation, we're not hiking no 4 miles. So we kept going. We did see lots of tracks of deer and turkey, a lot of turkey tracks, and looks like some cows and all had been there too. And there's water troughs and stuff, so I'm sure cows do roam up here. You can see that this is pretty rocky, pretty rough, but so much fun to get up. There's quite a bit of scrambling over rocks along this trail, so if you don't like bumping and jarring, it's bumpy and jarry, but definitely worth it for the views, as you can see.
Sometimes love is a river running strong, moving like a wave through a rocky riverbed. Sometimes love is a dancer in the dark, spinning, laughing, twirling through the back door of your heart. And every time I think of you, well, something happens in my mind. And every time I try to leave, you're keeping me occupied. I'm losing track of time.
This was fun through here, but we're starting to notice more snow, lots of snow. And okay, we're from Florida, so we'll take any snow we can see. We think it's fun to play in, and we just love seeing snow. So it was a fun surprise to get up here and get some snow flurries on. So you can see we're steadily climbing. Around here, we're probably at 8,500, maybe 8,700 feet of elevation. And it's pretty chilly out. It's not as windy as it's been the last few days, which was a big help. Wasn't as cold because you weren't getting the heavy drafts. But yeah, it was pretty rocky and pretty steep and lots of fun. You see the snow to the right as well.
And you try to sleep it off, but night keeps on passing by. You're losing track of time.
Here you can really see the snow, that how much snow is there. We're just starting to get into it. I will say that I was not, we were very aware that we were on a pile of rocks. It looks like they did mining here or something. We're assuming it was mining. But we were definitely looking that there wasn't going to be a rock slide or anything. And it just, you know, we were very aware to be cautious in that area in case there happened to be any slides or anything. So, and it's a pretty good, you know, drive across it to get all the way across. So we were being very cautious of our surroundings there.
So if you wanna take a ride and see what happens down the road, find yourself a pair of gloves and get yourself.
And despite the rocky, we were so excited about the snow and how pretty it was, and you know that the clouds there are kind of making it look snowy. And if you're paying attention, you'll notice we're starting to see snow flurries, which is very cool. We were very excited for. And the ice there is it's hard packed. It's hard packed snow and ice. So of course we had to get out in it. I was at that point wishing I had worn some tennis shoes and socks with my instead of my Keen sandals because my feet were a little chilly, but so much worth it. We were having to be really careful walking down because it was pretty slick because it was more ice than snow. And here we come to our first obstacle. Of course, we forgot the chainsaw, or we assumed we didn't need it here in Moab. It was in the camper. We just didn't put it in the side by side. And here you can see the snow flurries for real. It was awesome. We were very excited. Our first snowstorm. I mean, it may be snow flurries to you, but for us from Florida, that was a snowstorm. So we were excited for that. So we got to use the winch to move the tree out of the way, which was awesome. It would have been nice if we'd have had the chainsaw with us, but we'll put it in there for the next time. So we got the tree as far over as we could with the winch, and then brute force was able to move it the rest of the way. Muscles. You'll see the brute force here. We would have liked to have had the chainsaw to have cut that end off, to have gotten it further out of the road, but we got it as far over as we could. So here we're putting the winch away, making sure we get it feeding correctly. He's trying to see if it'll pull him. He can slide down the snow. It didn't work. His very descriptive hand signals. As we get it all put away. And there we go. So, phew, obstacle maneuvered. Here we go. We're going to go to Sal Pass. We're not far. It's just right around the bend. But it's just about that far too much. Because here we hit the snow.
Sometimes love is a river.
So we went as far as we could, and then of course we had to get out and play in the snow flurries and walk around on it and look. We could see where deer and turkey had been walking, but it was just too deep. You couldn't even see where the trail was. There was a creek down there that was kind of frozen, so went as far as we could go, and we're enjoying the snow flurries and had to take some photos of it and videos, and very exciting, especially since it's like 95 in Florida right now. But time to turn around and head back. So we decided to take a little different path on the way back and went over to Geyser Pass, or at least the bottom part of it. We definitely plan on doing that another day, but such a pretty drive. And it's a little tricky going over. We veered off the road we were on coming up here and head over to Geyser Pass. And there's a few, sketchy-ish parts you just had to be cautious on. But we were so enjoying the snow flurries. We were watching the weather to make sure that it, didn't seem like it was going to get too bad before we could get out of there. But so much fun riding here. And such a diverse terrain. You can go from the desert floor to up here in the mountain and snow. Just amazing.
Sometimes love is a dancer in the dark, spinning, laughing, twirling through the back door of your heart. And every time I think of you, well, something happens in my mind. And every time
And here we go, crossing back over the rock field, but you can see it's still snowing. We're enjoying the snow flurries as we go across. And now we're finding out all the places that we need to put more insulation, or because there was snow blowing under our windshield into the side by side with us, which was extremely cool, but wouldn't be if it got really, really cold. So we will have to address that at some point.
Sometimes love is a thought we held too long. Sometimes it's alright just to be a little wrong, with no sense of consequence, the strength to carry on. The day breaks in the darkest places right before the dawn. So if you ever lie awake with situations in your mind, and you try to sleep it off, but night keeps on passing by, you're losing track of time. Losing track of time. Sometimes love is a reason to hold on, blowing like a hurricane right inside of me and you. No blues or avenues can take away my stride, when love's standing holding hands right here by my side. So if you wanna take a ride and see what happens down the road, find yourself a pair of gloves and get yourself a warmer coat. Oh yes, we'll be doing fine. Just losing track of time. Just losing track of time.
And here's where we made the choice to head over towards Geyser Pass. We weren't sure, but we did see tracks from a Jeep or truck going this way, so we thought they made it. Surely we can, or we can always turn around if we have to. So that's when we decided to take another route back. And it's so cool, these trees. It almost looked, I don't know, it looked strange with the burned trees, and then you'll see them, they'll be blonde where the bark has come off of them. Just incredibly beautiful. In a strange kind of way, so pretty and so odd to see so many different textures and so many different changes. Here's where they're blonde, where the bark is falling off, and I just beautiful is all I can say. Just stunning and nice to see so much diversity in one area. here we were certainly enjoying the views, and we were noticing, and you'll see it better in a little later, but we're looking over at the mountains and we can see the snow falling on the mountains in front of us, which was, I mean, maybe if you're from up north or you're from this area, that's nothing new and nothing special, but for us it was very exciting, very cool to see. And we could say it looked like snow because it looked like snow, and truly enjoyed seeing that. Not something you see in Southwest Florida. And this is the view where you can kind of see the snow and see the haze and see that it's snowing on the other mountain. See the haze over there. It gets darker a little later. We were still really watching the weather, being very aware of that, but was cool to see the haze of the snow falling. There were a couple water crossings. They weren't anything difficult at all, but they were fun for us to look at, and I wanted to get a video of it from my phone to use in the video. So here's the other shot of the
Maybe should have closed my
water
door.
crossing. And as I said, I probably should have shut the door when I got out. Oops. And it's still snowing, as you can tell there. I walked over to look because you could see water must have come either from snow melt or from a flash flood or whatever. The tree washed the tree out on this. So, yeah, it's for real, the power of nature. And this is from the front video on the side-by-side that's mounted. See the snow flurries? We were very impressed with that. We were having so much fun with it. It was cold, but it wasn't horribly cold. So it was very fun experience here. We absolutely had a blast in this video, if you can't tell. I had to very carefully pick my way across the water because I did not want to fall in that ice cold water. And Vic would have laughed way too hard if I did. So we passed one obstacle to hit next. This one was a little bit edgy. You did definitely have to be careful here because we are, sitting right on the edge. And then we were going to go straight. That's one option, or you can go to the right. And straight was not an option because he'll pull up here and you can see that it is totally blocked. So that one wasn't an option. So then we have to turn around and figure out how to go do the other one without going off the edge, which, as you can see, it's rather steep over there and there is not a whole lot of room. But easy enough to turn around and just being careful not to back up too much. So easy turnaround, and we followed the Jeep trail or the Jeep tire tracks on up. There were several of the little rock obstacles areas that you had to be a little careful with that looked like they had been partially washed. But nothing too bad as long as you took your time and were careful. And we got to keep watching the mountains and watching the snow flurries and watching the storm to make sure it didn't get anything serious. But we had snow flurries, all the way through from the time we left, just before we got to the snow, all the way back to Geyser Pass Road, they were light, obviously, but it was all afternoon, a couple of hours of snow flurries for us, which was so cool. We also did hit some mud that was pretty slick, and you could tell at times, when probably when spring, when it first started melting the snow, and after a good rain, it could get really muddy up there. So definitely something to think of when you're up there to be aware of, because you can see there's some pretty good. Somebody made some pretty good ruts there. This whole trip was probably about a good 6 hours for us driving through there. And like I said, this is double speed, and I cut out so much of the drive just so I could show you the parts that I thought were most interesting. But beautiful drive through there. There was like a few spots you had to be really careful with. Most of it was fairly easy, but there were, you are on the edge and you had to be cautious. It definitely could be dangerous if it was really snowing or if it was really icy. So definitely weather conditions matter, but what a fun drive. That was another option too, to the left. It didn't look like it was very well used, and I was following the map to try to get us over to Geyser Pass Road, which we could head home from. Turned out to be an easy drive home. There was a few hill climbs like this and a few rocks. You can see it's still snow flurries there. So fun drive.
Late night, flickering lights, loud crowds on the street as I walk by.
It almost seemed a little out of place to have cattle guards up there, but I guess not, because we did see where there were cows up on these trails. And we had noticed the other day that they would put tags on them with trackers, so that for like the bull and a few of their key cows, so they could track their herd, which is very cool and a very good idea, and I'm sure very necessary out here on BLM land.
Outside a bar, a woman is waiting for a man to end his shift and take her home. I see a star slowly fading by a table where he's drinking all alone. I cross the river, the sound is changing. Across the river, I can hear a different song. Slowly.
And then you come up, after all that, you come up on this road, which was, I think, 126, or the road just before 126, one of them. And it takes you, I think we will come up to another road that we turn. That's probably 126. I'm not sure which one this was, but it'll take you up to 126, and you'll see a sign that says Moab to the left, 20 miles, Moab to the right, 40 miles, and it has a couple other places. So you can do a whole loop around. We're going to come back and do that because that looks cool. And you can see the snow off to the right there. Very, very cool. Here's 126. And that sign says Moab to the left, 20 miles, which is the direction we're going to go. But you could take Moab to the right, 40 miles. But we had to go pick up the trailer. We had some work done on it. That the trailer that the Jeep rides on. But you can see the deer there to the left. And so we had to go pick that up after having some welding done on that. So we needed to get back so we could go pick it up before end of day. But what a beautiful drive. This was an easy drive. I just give you a few clips of it as we head home. But man, what a pretty drive to get there. And then, such an easy way home. We're definitely going to come back up and do the Geyser Pass one. And that'll take us up the Sal Pass the other direction. So we'll see how far we can get that way and see how close we were to the end. But hopefully we'll get a chance to do that before we leave. What a beautiful view, though. You see all the colors and the sky, just gorgeous.
Across the river, the sound is changing. Across the river,
I left in some clips of this just because of the views, because these views are just stunning as you're riding it this road. Just beautiful drive through here. And this is when, you can do it in a car even. But just gorgeous to be up here and be able to experience this. Beautiful weather too. Even though it was a little snowy, it was so fun. And here we're leaving the national forest and we're heading back to the camper. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you will like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And enjoy the views up here. And just love seeing the different parts of the country. So we got a few more days here, so we're going to explore some more and we'll get some more videos out. So I hope you enjoy this video and we will see you down the road.